Hi there, it's Sam from Pootles.co.uk. Thank you for joining me today. Thank you for joining me in Pootles Advent Countdown. 24 projects coming out to you, 2 a week, all the way through and into December. And this is today's project. I've coloured on vellum, but I've coloured on the reverse, and I've got heat embossing going on there, and I'm going to stick it down because, you know, let's just do it all. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to do it. It's very simple. I have got a piece of 3x6 inch cardstock, folded it in half, scored it in half, and then I've actually run out of silver foil, so I've got silver glimmer that I've cut 1/4 inch shorter and narrower, and a piece of whisper white. So I'm going to layer those all up. If you work in metric, it's going to be 15 by 7.5 centimetres, and then just take off. Oh, that one's run out. Take off 1/2 centimetre, so 7.5. So your glimmer or foil is going to be 7 by 7, then your white is going to be 6.5 by 6.5, and that's how you get a pretty border like this. So once I've got this done, we can come on to the fun stuff. And actually, I'm going to do a little experiment here on camera. Okay, so that's my card base made. Super duper easy. I've got some vellum cardstock, and what the first thing I need to do is do my heat embossing. So I've got my gorgeous Merry Little Label stamp set, and I want this one that says Let It Snow. 1, because I think it's gorgeous, and 2, because I've got adhesive spaces hidden underneath there and the snow. So, got my little embossing buddy. Let's move that out of the way. And I'm going over quite a big area, my Versamark. So I'm going to make sure it's well inked up. And I'm going to have one there. And I'm going to do it a second time because, like I say, I want to do this little sort of experiment thing. And I've got to see where it is. And one there. So get those on, and then I had it ready. I had a piece of scrap paper to tip my embossing powder onto, but it's gone walkies, so let's just grab another. Silver embossing powder. Onto the first image. Back in the pot because I'm getting low. Oh, definitely need to go shopping, don't I? Foil, embossing powder. And just gently tap off. Don't tap too hard when you're getting rid of embossing powder, because you end up flicking it all off. Okay. Lid back on and sweep off. And then I've got my heat gun. I hope it's going to stretch it on camera. Oh, it just about does. So if you've got the volume up high, turn it down. I'm just going to warm that up on my hand a second. Oh, it's suddenly gone dark. Oh, and start heating your cardstock. And because it's vellum, it has potential to warp, which we don't want. So don't be too close. It will still melt, it just won't warp. My grid paper, however, will. So that's the first one done. It's gone all nice and shiny. A little patch there that needs a bit more. So it goes from dull to shiny very, very quickly. See it changing. There we go. That's that done, and I'm going to turn my grid paper over because look, I've made it all wibbly. You saw my anti-slip mat then, didn't you? Okay, so the way that I did this one was by using sponge and ink. So what you need to do is turn it over so you're working on the back. And I've got Soft Sky here, and a matching sponge. That is the Soft Sky one. And then I've got Night of Navy and a sponge. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in with the Soft Sky first, and I'm going to work at the bottom. and it's just tinting the colour very slightly. But you do need to look through to see if you're getting enough colour come through, which I'm not. So there we go, that's a bit more colour. Whoops. And now I'm going to come in with a Night of Navy at the top and try and get the two bits to blend together. And just check through to see if you're getting enough colour coming through. And I am. So that colour is coming through. Now that was what I did originally. I'm going to have a go, and I haven't tested this idea. See what happens when I use blends, because we've got a Night of Navy, and the other one actually is Pool Party. We do have Bermuda Bay, but I don't think that's going to be quite right. So, oh, that's the wrong end. So blends are alcohol markers. So this is either going to work or it's not going to work. I don't think there's an awful lot of room for work or not work. I'm just going to blend those together. That looks okay actually on the other side. It doesn't go as liquid. It doesn't sort of spread in quite the same way that the that it does on paper or watercolour paper. But we're going to have a go. It might work, might not. I think this blend in the middle bit might be a bit of an issue, but just cleaning that off. That's okay. What you definitely need to do, however, is come back in and dry it. So, because otherwise your glue's not going to stick. So do make sure it is dry. I can see, I've got a little patch here in the top top left-hand corner. I don't know if you can see it, but it's wet. I know that when that's dry, my ink will be dry. So that's done. And when I punch these out, they'll be pretty. So I need my everyday label punch. Actually, I quite like the blends one. I do like that. And obviously everyday label fits perfectly round it. I might go with that one, not the one I did originally. Blends, you are so lovely. I think I'm going to keep you forever and ever and ever. They're rather good, aren't they? I like the blends one better. I do. Oh, I've got it, I've just flipped it over. I prefer that one to that one. So, yeah, we'll have this one. Right, so there's a couple of, actually I'm going to keep this one. There's a couple of ways you can glue. You can put mini glue dots behind the dark parts, which is what I'm going to do. But you can also use, we have got adhesive sheets and they come in great big packs like this. And what you do, well, you're essentially making a sticker. So you peel up and you can see, oh, I don't know if you can see, that is, it's just one big sheet of glue. So what you do is you lay your image down, go back over it with the protection sheet, push really firmly, peel it back up. You've left a bit of ink behind and that has not taken any of the adhesive up. That was a really good idea in theory that didn't actually work. I don't know why that didn't work, probably the ink. So we're going to go with the original method that I used, which is mini glue dots. Love these things, they are my bestest friends in the world. So mini glue dots, paper piercer so that you can hold it and manipulate it. So you can get a whole load going behind, I think it was the ink, behind those trees, because you're not going to see through them, they hate embossed. Definitely that was the ink that caused that to not stick, I didn't dry it enough. So you've got a whole load there. And then let me put this on autofocus. Oh, it's already on autofocus. If you haven't seen me do this before, you get your glue dot and you fold it and roll it and you turn it into a little gluey ball like that, and you hide it behind a star because you won't see it from the other side. And you pop it on. Oh, love the blends on that. Oh, that ain't coming off because it's well stuck. And then I just want some metallic enamel shapes then. I've got really dodgy paper piercers right now. They do not want to pick a thing up. There's a different one. Obviously got a busted tip somewhere, haven't I? Oh, I love the blends. Oh, it's just opened a whole world to me. How fantastic are they? But I love it. So this was my original, done with the sponge daubering. And yeah, I don't think the ink had dried when I tried to do it on the sheets. I reckon they would work. But yeah, really cool. Love the blends. Anyway, thank you ever so much for joining me. Hope to speak to you very soon. Bye.